I just want to start by thanking all of you guys for being a part of this panel. And, it's an honor for me to conduct it and, just have an all-star panel of coaches. And obviously we got ourselves an all-star former head football coach on the panel as well. I'll go ahead and introduce you all from left to right that I see. First of all, we got Yuma Catholic head football coach Rhett Stallworth joining us, as well as in the Imperial Valley, we have rookie Pena, the head coach for the Central Spartans, and we have former head football coach of the Yuma Criminals, and he did some time with Kofa as well, and Kurt Weber. And of course, we have Southwest head football coach John Haynes. Again, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me for this special Super Bowl talk. And obviously, it's historic for a number of reasons. And just to kind of start things off, everyone's talking about this. This is the water cooler talk, at least I believe it to be. The quarterback matchup with this. This is like taking up, I think, most the media conversation as far as the greatest of all time versus the up-and-comer. If you all can kind of digress on just that matchup of these two distinct, talented quarterbacks, we'll start with you, Rhett, on this one. Kind of give us your perspectives of this.
Well, they're both talented quarterbacks. I don't like saying that they're playing against each other because they're playing against the other team's defense. So, I mean, to compare those guys in that manner, there's no doubt that Brady's a winner, and Mahomes is the proven winner. And Mahomes is, obviously he's the new up-and-comer, but he's pretty proven himself as well. So this comes down to how well the other defenses play, not them playing against each other. So.
Okay, so Ricky, where do you stand on this as far as, I guess you can say what the media is propagating as far as, these two stars of this team. I mean, where do you take the conversation from here with that?
Well, with Tom Brady's experience, obviously, the guy's been in 10 Super Bowls, and, there's nothing much you can throw at him that he hasn't seen before. And then, you got Patrick Mahomes, who's under 25 years old, now been in 2 Super Bowls, and so you got the gentleman that's been there 10 times versus a young and up and comer, and it'll be an interesting battle between two teams and the different looks that they throw at each other and create mismatches. So it'll be a great game to watch and just see what both players.
Okay, Coach Weber, as far as Patrick Mahomes is concerned, I think during the season when they played Tampa, I think it was week 12, sometime in November, I think he was quoted as saying, and I could be wrong on this, that he wanted to play his best game because he didn't know if he was ever going to play Brady again. Now he's playing him again, and maybe this is the last time they play against each other. Maybe Brady retires after this. Do you feel like there's any extra momentum between one or the other quarterbacks? Or motivation, I should say?
You get to that level, they're so good. The thing about listening to the discussion with the other two guys on the quarterbacks, I just think Brady's about got to play a perfect game. Mahomes is such an athlete that, if he's down 14, 17 points, not a real big deal. I don't think Brady's one of those comeback guys. So, Tampa's got to play pretty error-free, I think, for them to win.
So, Coach Haynes, do you agree with that sentiment that Brady's really going to have to put together maybe the game of his life as opposed to Mahomes, or do you feel differently?
Well, if you go back and look at the matchup, they play week 12, Mahomes threw for almost 500 yards. Let's get that out there. Three touchdowns, no picks. Brady turned the ball over a couple times. I really believe at the end of the day, it's which quarterback's going to turn the ball over. At this level, it's all about, those guys are pros, man. It comes down to little things with them, and I think it's going to come down to turnovers and can Tampa play good enough defense, man? Because I think, can they get him to punt a couple times? Because I think if you're going to go to Vegas and go bet on 3 or less punts for this game, I think there's going to be a lot of scoring. So I think it's going to come down to a couple mistakes at the end of it.
And games often do that for sure. This time, let's start with you, Rookie, as far as any other offensive player in this game that's really going to have to step up their game to help their team win other than the two quarterbacks. Who do you see doing that?
Well, Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's a special player, and, he could turn a 5-yard hitch into a 75-yard touchdown. So, again, it's going to come down to matchups. And, And, you know, those playmakers now that Kansas City has, you know, they're very dangerous players. And, you know, again, you know, we understand, you know, Tom Brady's going to, you know, go ahead and be out there and gain the ball to his playmakers. But when you're dealing with someone like Tyreek Hill, who's just that explosive of a player, there's nothing much you can do about that.
Okay, and your perspective, Coach Weber, what do you see as, you know, or do you agree that Tyreek Hill is the guy that is really going to make noise, or do you see anyone else really going to kind of showcase themselves in this game to really help one or the other team win?
You know, he finds the tight end, Travis Kelce. He finds him uncanny ability. You know, Tyreek Hill is going to get all the splash, but Kelce keeps the sticks moving. And, you know, it's going to be a big job to try to cover everything. I mean, dumping the ball out of the backfield. I think John said it well. Little things, these angles of pursuit, you're trying to tackle these guys in space. You can't miss. You can't be off half a step. And that's the pressure I think that they bring to it against the defense. And I love to see good defenses played, but you know, these guys today, they put so much pressure on the defense.
Okay. And Coach Haynes, do you feel like the tight end could be one of those big positions in this game? Obviously, Kelce, that, you know, Coach Weber just mentioned, and, you know, you got Rob Gronkowski as well, who might not have been effective as much this season, but he's known to step up his game in a game like this.
Well, I think Gronk's going to make a couple big plays. He tends to do that. He's got a knack for that. He's a big athletic guy. But where I think Gronkowski, he doesn't get enough credit, the guy is an outstanding run blocker. And I think that one of the most underlooked aspects of this game is going to be Tampa Bay's run game. Can they stay on the field? Can they move the chains? Can Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, and that Tampa offensive line and Rob Gronkowski, can they grind out first downs? Because we both know that Kansas City has no intentions of grinding any clock. You know what I mean? You know, if they score in 30 seconds, they're just fine with that. But I think the other way there, I think Tampa may be thinking, how can we shorten this game? And I think it may come down to how well the offensive line, Gronkowski, and the two backs are in Tampa can move the sticks.
And I know that you guys have all coached great running backs, and I'm directing this back to you, Rhett, because you've, you know, had, I mean, there's just a number of great running backs that have come through YC. How important is Fournette's role, piggybacking off of what Coach Haynes is saying, you know, for the success of Tampa overall in this game? How big is he going to have to play?
I think he's going to have to play big, like he said, grinding out clock, getting first downs, plus play action's got to work for Tampa Bay a lot better than it does for Kansas City, because again, Mahomes can make things happen with his feet, whereas Brady's not going to be able to do so as well. So their play action's got to be spot on, and if Kansas City doesn't have to respect the run, they're going to be able to drop back in coverage, and that's going to cause problems for Brady.
In this case, I'm going to see who wants to jump in first. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to single or pick anybody out in this case. But as far as the defenses are concerned, there's that old adage that defenses win championships. Yes, offenses sell tickets, but defenses win championships. I'm a personal believer in that. So defensively, who on either side is really going to need to step up their game in this one to be a big impact in Super Bowl 55?
You know, to me, it's going to have to be Tampa Bay's defense. They're going to have to go ahead and control the big plays. You know, Tampa Bay is going to, you know, as Coach Weber, you know, highlighted, is they're going to have to make tackles in the